Good afternoon, students. Now I am audible to everyone and slides are visible. Okay, let's start the class. Our today's topic is liver and gallbladder. Okay, our today's topic is liver and gallbladder. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm going to cover liver and gallbladder under these headings: function and anatomy, under which lobes, lobules, hepatocytes, portal triad, biliary system, blood supply, then composition and properties of bile, function of bile, bile salts, bile pigments, function of liver and gallbladder, regulation of bile secretion, then applied physiology. So let's start the class from the functional anatomy. Functional anatomy. Here you can appreciate this is the liver. Okay, this is the liver and this green one is the gallbladder, and this liver and gallbladder is connected by the common bile duct. Okay, and this common bile duct opens into the first part of the small intestine. This common bile duct joins with the pancreatic duct and then joins into the at the ampulla of Vater and opens into the first part of the small intestine, that is duodenum. Okay. Good afternoon everyone. Okay. Liver is located in the upper part of the abdomen. The liver and gallbladder are interconnected by the duct known as the biliary duct or the common bile duct, which drains into the first segment of the small intestine, that is duodenum. Liver is reddish brown. Here you can appreciate this is reddish brown, wedge-shaped organ. Human liver normally weighs about 1.5 kg, has a width of about 15 centimeter long, 15 centimeter, which is around 6 inch in width. It is both the heaviest internal organ and the largest gland in the human body. Okay, it is the heaviest internal organ and the largest gland in the human body. Located in the right upper quadrant of the abdominal cavity. It is present on the right side of the abdominal cavity in upper quadrant and rests just below the diaphragm. It rests just below the diaphragm. To the right of the stomach, this is the stomach, to the right of the stomach and overlies the gallbladder. Okay. The liver, lobes, lobules, hepatocytes, portal triad are the part of the liver, and so liver is made up of the many lobes. Like liver weaved from the above, showing the left and right lobes separated by the falciform ligament, and when weaved from the below, 4 lobes and impression, that is right lobe, left lobe, caudate and quadrate lobe. Okay, so when liver is viewed from the above, 2 parts right and left, and when viewed from the below, left, right, caudate and quadrate lobe. And these lobes are made up of many lobules. Okay, liver is made up of lobes, that is right and left lobe, and from below right, left, caudate and quadrate lobe, and that lobe is made up of many lobules. These lobules are the functional unit of liver. Each lobule is made up of millions of the hepatic cells, that is hepatocytes. Okay, lobes are made up of lobules and lobules is made up of millions of hepatic cells, that is hepatocytes, which are the basic metabolic cells of the liver. Okay, the lobules of liver or the hepatic lobules are small division of liver defined at the microscopic scale. The hepatic lobule is building block of liver tissue. Okay, so this lobule is the functional unit of liver and a building block of the liver tissue consisting of portal triad, hepatocytes arranged in linear cords between a capillary network and a central vein. Gleason's capsule. What is Gleason's capsule? It is a capsule which surrounds the liver. So liver capsule is composed of two adherent layers. That one is a thick fibrous layer, fibrous inner layer called the Gleason's capsule. Here you can appreciate this is the Gleason's capsule. An outer serous layer that is derived from the peritoneum. So liver capsule is composed of two layers, inner layer that is Gleason's capsule and outer layer that is derived from the peritoneum. The layer of connective tissue surrounding the liver and encircling the hepatic artery, portal vein and biliary duct within the liver, that is Gleason's, that layer is called as the Gleason's capsule, and named for the British physician, anatomist, physiologist and pathologist Francis Gleason. Its name derived from this physician Francis Gleason. Okay, so Gleason's capsule is the inner layer that surrounds the liver and encircling the hepatic artery, portal vein and the bile ducts within the liver. Okay, here in this diagram you can appreciate this is the Gleason's capsule which encircles the hepatic artery, portal vein and the biliary ducts. And when viewed from the above, the liver is divided into two lobes, right lobe and left lobe. This right and left lobe is divided by the falciform ligament. This is the falciform ligament. When viewed from the below, right lobe, left lobe, caudate and quadrate lobes of the liver. Okay. This is the porta hepatis, where the biliary duct, hepatic artery and hepatic vein leaves the liver. That is known as the porta hepatis. Portal triad. Portal triad, also known as the portal canal, portal field, portal area and portal tract, is a distinctive arrangement within the lobules. Okay, so liver is made up of lobes. That lobes is made up of lobules. That lobules consist many cells, hepatic cells, that is hepatocytes, as well as the portal triad. These portal triad contains the hepatic artery, hepatic portal vein and the biliary tract or the branches of the bile conducting system. So these three suggest the name portal triad, but this is the misnomer because it is discovered that the lymphatic vessels and vagus nerves are also present in the portal triad. So this is the misnomer. Portal triad traditionally has included only the first three structures, that is artery, hepatic vein and the biliary duct, and was named before the lymphatic vessels were discovered in the structure. So if someone asks what is the contents of portal triad, you have to tell hepatic artery, hepatic portal vein and the branches of the biliary duct. Now coming to the hepatocytes, which are present within the lobules. It is a cell of main parenchymal tissue of the liver, and this hepatocyte make up 55 to 65% of the liver mass, and these cells are involved in protein synthesis, protein storage, transformation of the carbohydrate, synthesis of cholesterol, bile salts and phospholipid, detoxification, modification, excretion of exogenous and endogenous substances, initiation and formation of the secretion of bile. So these are the function of the hepatocytes. Hepatocytes are organized into plates separated by the vascular channel, that is called sinusoids, which is supported by the reticulum collagen type 3 network, sinusoid lined by the endothelial cells, and Kupffer cells are scattered between the endothelial cells. They are a part of the reticuloendothelial system and its role in the phagocytosis. So Kupffer cells is part of reticuloendothelial system. It is a macrophages, so its role in the phagocytosis. Here in this diagram we can summarize the functional anatomy. This is the liver. which is wedge-shaped organ. It is present on the right part of the abdominal cavity in the upper quadrant. This is made up of 2 lobes from the when it is viewed from the above, and 4 lobes when it is viewed from the below. This lobes made up of many lobules, and this lobules contains many hepatocytes. Here in this diagram you can appreciate this is the cross section of this liver. This blue one is the vein, red one is the artery, and the green one is the bile duct. This is the central vein which is present in the center of the lobules, and row of hepatocytes present from central vein towards the portal triad. Okay, this is the portal triad which contains hepatic artery, portal vein, and the branches of the biliary duct. Okay, blue one is the vein, red one is the artery, and this green one is the tributaries of the biliary duct. So this is the contents of the portal triad. Okay, this is the central vein, and these are the hepatocytes which arranged in the row of hepatocytes from central vein toward the portal triad. In between the hepatocyte there is a presence of sinusoid. Here in this diagram you can appreciate this is the hepatocyte, and sinusoid is arranged in between the hepatocytes, and these sinusoid are lined by the cuboidal epithelial cells, and this sinusoid contains the Kupffer cells, which is a part of reticuloendothelial system, and its role in the phagocytosis. This Kc is the Kupffer cells, and Sc is the stellate cells present on the surface of the sinusoid. Okay, so these are the functional anatomy of the liver. Hope everything is clear till now. Okay, now coming to the biliary duct. Normally the right and left hepatic duct converge to form the common hepatic duct at the porta hepatis. Okay, at the right and left hepatic duct joins to form the common hepatic duct, and this common hepatic duct joined by the cystic duct from the gallbladder to form the common bile duct, and this common bile duct is normally 6 millimeter or less, but it may be absent in some patient, or it may be larger. It may be larger in elderly patient when the gallbladder is removed. The CBD common bile duct courses into the head of pancreas and joins to the main pancreatic duct to form the ampulla of Vater at the major duodenal papilla, and sphincter of Oddi present at the distal end of the common biliary duct. In this diagram you can appreciate this is the right hepatic duct, this is the left hepatic duct. This right and left hepatic duct joins to form the common hepatic duct at the porta hepatis, and this common hepatic duct joins with the cystic duct from the gallbladder. Duct originate from the gallbladder is called the cystic duct, and these two duct joins form the common bile duct. This common bile duct joins with the pancreatic duct and at the ampulla of Vater, and at this area sphincter of Oddi present at the distal end of the common bile duct. Okay, so this is the structure of the common bile duct. Hope it is clear. And this will open into the first part of the small intestine, that is duodenum. Okay, so this is the structure of biliary duct. Now next, sphincter of Oddi is present at the distal end of the common bile duct, which is a band of smooth muscles, circular smooth muscles. What is role of this sphincter of Oddi in the relaxing condition? This sphincter of Oddi is contracted, means while in the fasting condition this is contracted, but when the food enters the stomach or acidic chyme enters into the duodenum, this sphincter of Oddi relaxes, and biliary juice, bile juice enters from common bile duct into this intestine, first part of the small intestine. Okay, Now coming to the bile blood supply of liver. Blood supply of liver. Blood receives the liver receives the most liver is the most vascular organ. It can 1500 ml per minute. It receives the 1500 ml per minute blood supply, receives 25% of the resting cardiac output, and blood enters via the hepatic artery 25% and portal vein 75%. Okay, so liver receives the 25% of the resting cardiac output, and hepatic artery via the hepatic artery 25%, via the portal vein 75%. Portal vein from the carries blood from the gut, rich in absorbed nutrients. Portal flow increases after meals. Blood leaves via the hepatic vein. Here in this diagram you can appreciate hepatic artery. This is the hepatic artery, red one, and blue one. Portal vein enters into the liver. So liver receives the blood from the hepatic artery and portal vein and leaves the liver via the hepatic vein. Okay. Here in this diagram you can appreciate this is the liver where the hepatic artery enters and hepatic portal vein enters. So liver receives the blood from the hepatic artery and portal vein. This hepatic artery originates from the abdominal aorta of heart and enters into the liver and divided into many branches into the liver. Okay, and this hepatic portal vein, which is made of now it's visible and audible to everyone. Okay, let's continue the class on the blood supply of the liver. Okay, so here in this diagram you can appreciate hepatic artery which receives blood from the abdominal aorta, and this hepatic artery enters into the liver and divided into many branches. This hepatic artery contains the oxygenated blood, and hepatic portal vein from where the 75% of blood liver receives the 75% of blood from this hepatic portal vein. This hepatic portal vein consists of the splenic vein and superior mesenteric vein. So it receives blood from through the splenic vein from the stomach, pancreas, and portion of the large intestine, and through the superior mesenteric vein from the small intestine and portion of large intestine and stomach and pancreas. So through the hepatic portal vein blood enters from intestine to the liver, so it is also called the enterohepatic circulation, and it contains the deoxygenated blood. So hepatic artery 25% of the blood through the hepatic artery, and 95% of blood of the liver receives through the hepatic portal vein. This hepatic artery and hepatic portal vein enters in the liver, and liver contains the sinusoid in between the hepatocyte. This enters into the sinusoid. In sinusoid, oxygen and nutrients are absorbed, and carbon dioxide and other waste products are released into the central vein. Okay, which is central vein of the lobule, which is the center portion of the lobule, and this central vein joins and forms the hepatic vein. Okay, this central vein joins and form the hepatic vein, and through the hepatic vein it enters into the inferior vena cava and inferior vena cava into the heart. So this is the blood supply of the heart, or the blood supply of the liver, or the circulatory system of the liver. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Okay, let's continue to the composition and properties of liver. Composition: bile is product of the combination of water and solids, which is conjugated bile acid, bile pigment, cholesterol, and the inorganic salts. Okay. Bile contains the water, that is 97.6%, solid 2.4%. In solid, organic and inorganic substance, bile salts, bile pigments, cholesterol, fatty acid, lecithin and mucin. Okay. And inorganic substance, sodium, calcium, potassium, chloride and bicarbonate. Okay. Composition and properties: daily secretion 500 to 1000 ml. In transparent alkaline fluid, light yellow in color, its pH is 7.8 to 8.6. It is watery, and it contains the water, bile salts and bile pigment. Bile salt, that is the sodium and potassium salts of the bile salt. Bile acid, that is sodium taurocholate, sodium glycocholate, potassium taurocholate and potassium glycocholate. Bile pigments, these are the bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay, so these is the composition and properties. Now coming to the secretion of the bile. The secretion of bile can be considered to occur in two stages. Hepatocytes secrete the bile into canaliculi. Okay, so bile is produced in the hepatocytes, from which its flow in the bile ducts. And hepatic bile contains the large quantities of bile acid, cholesterol and other organic molecules. Okay, hepatic bile means bile which is produced in liver consists of bile acid, cholesterol and other organic molecules, but when it enters into the bile ducts of common bile duct, where the cystic duct joins, so there is addition of watery bicarbonate rich secretion from the ductal epithelial cells. The gallbladder stores and concentrates bile. Bile is concentrated 5-fold in the gallbladder by the absorption of water. So bile from the hepatocytes. Okay, in hepatocyte there is formation of bile. From here it enters into the small caniculi. From small caniculi it enters into the small terminal ductules, which is also called the canals of Herring. And from small terminal ductules to the perilobular bile ducts, then interlobular bile duct, and from interlobular septal ducts, then lobar duct. From lobar duct, left and right hepatic duct, then into the common hepatic duct. From common hepatic duct it enters into the common bile duct, where the pancreatic duct joins at the ampulla of Vater and enters into the duodenum at the sphincter of Oddi. So biliary tree is a canaliculi, form an extensive mesosphere surrounding and draining the hepatocytes. In this diagram you can appreciate, this is the liver where the bile forms. This bile contains the cholesterol, sodium, potassium, calcium, chloride, water, bile acid and bile segments. Okay, then it enters into the common hepatic duct, then the common bile duct. When it enters into the common bile duct, it absorbs the sodium, bicarbonate and water, so it will be more alkaline in nature here, and then to the duodenum, and through the enterohepatic circulation 95% of bile acid and bile pigment enters to the liver again through the portal vein, and from from duodenum 5% of bile enters to the ileum, and this gallbladder secretes the mucin, which also enters into the common bile duct, and absorption of sodium, bicarbonate, chloride and water at the mucosa of the gallbladder. Okay, this gallbladder stores and concentrates the bile, and where it is less alkaline in nature. Okay, hope everything is clear till now. Now coming next to the next slide. I'm going to the next slide. The gallbladder is a small hollow organ where the bile is stored and concentrated before it is released into the small intestine. Okay, So its main function is the storage and concentration of the bile. It is a pear-shaped gallbladder lies beneath the pear-shaped organ which is lies beneath the liver. Okay. So bile secreted from liver is stored in gallbladder. The capacity of the gallbladder is 50 ml. Gallbladder is not essential for life and it is removed, which is called the cholecystectomy in patients suffering from the gallbladder dysfunction. So it is not very essential for life. If it is removed, then also our body will functions normally. Major function of gallbladder are as storage of bile, concentration of bile. Bile is concentrated at the gallbladder. Alteration of pH of bile. Here in gallbladder, bile is less alkaline in nature. Secretion of mucin. Gallbladder secretes the mucin, so it lubricates the wall of the bile duct and lubricates the intestine for the proper peristaltic movement of the intestine. Maintenance of pressure in the biliary duct. Maintenance of pressure in biliary system means normally while in fasting condition there is a pressure 7 centimeter S2O of the biliary system. At this pressure, sphincter of OD is closed, and because of this pressure, bile enters from liver into the gallbladder and stored in the gallbladder and as well as concentrated in the gallbladder. But while eating food or when chyme enters from the stomach into the intestine, the pressure is increased from 7 to 20 centimeter S2O and sphincter of OD is also relaxed. So when it is relaxed, there is a secretion of bile from the gallbladder or liver into the duodenum. Okay, so maintenance of pressure in the biliary system through the gallbladder by the sphincter of OD. Now next slide, regulation of the gallbladder secretion, filling and emptying of gallbladder. What is the role of sphincter of OD? I explained already. By maintaining the pressure of the biliary system. Normally in fasting condition it is 7 centimeter S2O, but when the food enters from or acidic chyme enters from the stomach into the duodenum, the pressure is increased, which is 20 centimeter S2O. At this time sphincter of OD is relaxed, means open, and bile is secreted from common bile duct into the first part of the small intestine. And some neural and hormonal regulation is also in the gallbladder. Neural through the vagus nerve by the parasympathetic nerve and parasympathetic system, and hormonal through the action of the cholecystokinin. So this is the regulation of bile in gallbladder, filling and emptying of gallbladder. Here in this diagram you can appreciate liver through the hepatocytes. In liver, in the hepatocyte, from cholesterol there is a production of the bile salts, synthesized and recycling, and these bile salts enters into the common bile duct and from here to the gallbladder. And gallbladder, when this sphincter of OD is closed, this gallbladder store and concentrates the bile, where some of the iron and H2O is secreted, and with the help of secretin hormone, ions and water is absorbed in the common bile duct. In gallbladder there is a more concentration where the calcium and potassium is not absorbed. Here in this diagram you can appreciate there is absorption of sodium, bicarbonate, chloride and H2O, but not potassium and sodium. Okay, so here the concentration of bile is more concentration of bile in the gallbladder is more concentrated, where the bile salts, bile pigment and cholesterol is not absorbed in the gallbladder mucosa. Okay, so here in this diagram you can appreciate acetylcholine and cholecystokinin. Acetylcholine through the vagus nerve, cholecystokinin by the hormone. This contracts the gallbladder, and because of the contraction of gallbladder there is a secretion of bile into the common bile duct. But when this when acetic chyme enters into the duodenum, means there is a requirement of bile in the duodenum, so this sphincter of Oda is relaxed. Okay. When it is relaxed, their bile enters into the duodenum, and from this duodenum it will enter into the ileum. In the ileum, and from ileum 95% of the bile salts are again go back into the liver through the enterohepatic circulation through the portal vein, and 5% of the bile salt is excreted into the fecus. Okay, hope everything is clear in this diagram. Now going to the next slide. Bile salts. What is bile salts? Bile salts are one of the primary component of the bile. Bile is a greenish yellow fluid made by the liver and is stored in gallbladder. Bile salts help with the digestion of fat in our bodies. They also help us to absorb the fat soluble vitamin like A, D, E, K. Okay. Formation of bile salts. How the bile salts form? Bile salt formed in the hepatocyte by the cholesterol. This cholesterol convert into the 7-hydroxyl cholesterol with the help of cholesterol esterase, and this cholesterol convert into the primary bile acid. This primary bile acid is cholic acid and the deoxycholic acid. This will occur in the liver, and some of the primary bile acid convert into the bile salts with the by conjugation with the glycine and taurine. Okay, some of the bile salts are converted into the secondary bile acid, that is deoxycholic acid and lithocholic acid, in the intestine by the bacteria present in the intestine. These secondary bile acid some of the secondary bile acid is excreted into fecus, but most of them is again reabsorbed into the liver through the portal vein, that is called enterohepatic circulation. Okay, so bile salts are made up of bile acid that are conjugated with glycine or taurine. Okay, when bile acid in the liver, when this bile acid conjugated with the sodium and potassium, this it will convert into the bile salt, that is sodium glycocholate or sodium tricocholate or potassium glycocholate or potassium taurocholate. They are produced in liver directly from the cholesterol. Primary bile acid are those synthesized by the liver, and secondary which is through the bacterial action in the intestine. Okay, hope everything is clear. What is primary bile acid, what is secondary bile acid, how the bile salts form. In this diagram again you can appreciate how the bile salts form. Here in liver, this is the liver, cholesterol bile acid is formed from the cholesterol, that is primary bile acid, that is deoxycholic acid and cholic acid, and this primary bile acid enters into the intestine, and in intestine by the because of the bacteria there is a biotransformation of this primary bile acid into secondary bile acid, and this secondary bile acid, most of the bile acid are again reabsorbed in the terminal ileum and enter through the enterohepatic circulation. It will again go back into the liver. Only 5% will be excreted into the fecus. Okay, so this is all about the bile salts. Now coming to the, so bile salts are produced by the hepatocytes in the liver and are derived from the cholesterol. So bile salts are derived from the cholesterol. What is the enterohepatic circulation of bile salts? This is the most important question. It may ask, it is a frequently asked question in the exam. Refers to the circulation of the biliary acid, bilirubin, drugs and other substance from liver to the bile, followed by entry into the small intestine, absorption of the enterocyte and transport back to the liver. Okay. Circulation of the biliary acid. bilirubin, drugs and other substance from liver to bile, and followed by the entry into the small intestine and absorption by the enterocyte, and then again transport back to the liver. That is called liver enterohepatic circulation. Entero means intestine and hepatic means liver. Means liver to intestine, then again intestine to liver, so it is called the enterohepatic circulation. In this diagram you can appreciate, in the liver there is a formation of bile through the cholesterol. It will enter through the right and left hepatic duct into the common hepatic duct, then common bile duct, and when the sphincter of Oddi is relaxed, this bile is entered into the duodenum, and from duodenum into the ileum. In this ileum, 5% of bile are excreted in the fecus, and 95% again goes back into the liver through the hepatic portal vein. So this is called the enterohepatic circulation. Okay, this is clear to everyone. This is enterohepatic circulation. Bile salts. Bile salts are formed in the hepatocyte, and then bile canonically it is absorbed in the terminal ileum, and 95% to the portal vein goes back into the hepatocyte. So this is the hepatocyte to ileum, ileum to hepatocyte, hepatocyte to ileum, ileum to hepatocyte. This is called the enterohepatic circulation. Bile salts is important for the emulsification and the absorption of fat. What is the function of bile salt? First is the emulsification of fats. How its role in the emulsification? Because fats are not soluble, so bile salts have the detergent action, which decreases the surface tension of the fat for the emulsification. That is called the emulsification of the fat for its digestion and absorption of the fat. Bile salts convert the fat into complex, that is called micelle, so that it will be absorbed in the intestine. What is the cholerectic action? Bile salts help in stimulation of the liver for secretion, that is called the cholerectic. Cholerectic means stimulation of liver for secretion, that is called cholerectic. Cholego means gallbladder contraction. So bile salts also contracts the gallbladder, and because of the contraction of gallbladder there is a secretion of bile. And laxative, bile salts by secreting the mucin, it also acts as a laxative for proper formation of the stools and passage of the stools. Prevention of gallbladder formation. As we know, the bile contains the cholesterol, lecithin, bile pigments. This cholesterol and lecithin, because of this bile salt, this cholesterol lecithin is present in the solution. But if the bile salts are not present, or because of any biliary dysfunction, if bile salts are less, or its secretion is less, its formation is less, this cholesterol and lecithin will form the complex and precipitate into the gallstone. Then so because of the bile salts, cholesterol lecithin is present in solution, so it prevents the gallstone formation. Lubrication, because gallbladder secrete the mucin, so it also helps in lubrication. Okay, so this is the function of the bile salts: emulsification of fats, absorption of fats, cholerectin, cholagogue, laxative, prevention of gallstone formation, and lubrication. What is the role of bile salt in digestion of lipid? Dietary lipid have low solubility. Bile salts acts as a detergent to emulsify dietary lipid. Because of the detergent, there is a decreased surface tension of the fat. Bile is a mixture of water, lecithin, bile salts, and cholesterol. Cholesterol is a precursor of bile salts. Bile salts are synthesized in liver and stored in the gallbladder. Bile salts are reabsorbed in the gastrointestinal tract for recirculation back to the liver, that is called enterohepatic circulation. And significant amount of bile salt is excreted in fecus daily, that is 0.3 to 0.5 gram. And bile salt excretion is the major way that cholesterol is eliminated from the body. So bile salt excretion is the major way that cholesterol is eliminated from the body. Now coming to the bile pigments formation and excretion. Bile pigments or bilirubin and biliverdin, these are formed from the globin part of the hemoglobin after destruction of the old RBCs. No functional importance. It is excreted in bile, responsible for the yellow color of bile. Here in this diagram you can appreciate how the bile pigments form. Senile RBC are destructed into the reticuloendothelial system, and it will convert into the heme and globin. Globin is reused, and this heme is again converted into bilirubin and biliverdin, and iron is released, and this iron is again reused, and this biliverdin is converted into the bilirubin. This bilirubin from reticuloendothelial system enters into the blood in unconjugated form, that is called the free bilirubin, and from blood it will enter into the liver, where it conjugated with the glucuronic acid and forms the conjugated bilirubin. And this conjugated bilirubin via bile enters into the intestine. 50% of conjugated bilirubin enters into the intestine, and 50% again go back into the liver through the enterohepatic circulation. And this 50% of the conjugated bilirubin converted into the urobilinogen. First this conjugated bilirubin convert into the free bilirubin, then this free bilirubin form the urobilinogen, and after formation of this urobilinogen, most of that is again reabsorbed into the liver, that is called the enterohepatic circulation. And urobilinogen 5% is excreted through the kidney, and some are converted into stercobilinogen and excreted through the fecus. This urobilinogen in kidney excreted through the urine, when it will come in contact with the air, it will convert into the urobilin, and this stercobilinogen, and when it comes in contact with air, it will convert into the stercobilin. Okay, so this is the formation of the bile pigment. Bilirubin metabolism or the bilirubin metabolism. This is the formation of the bile pigment, or you can also call the bilirubin metabolism in the intestine. Bilirubin metabolism, conjugated bilirubin convert into the urobilinogen via the bacteria in the intestine. Some are excreted in the stool, some are reabsorbed and excreted through the kidney in urine. It will convert into the urobilin when it comes in contact with the air. Normal plasma level of bilirubin is total bilirubin 0.2 to 1.2 milligram per deciliter. When it exceeds to 1 milligram per deciliter, that is called hyperbilirubinemia. When it exceeds more than 2 milligram per deciliter, it is called the jaundice. Function of bile. Digestive function by reducing the surface tension, it is already discussed, by activating the action of lipase, by solvent action. So bile salts helps in digestion of the fat by reducing the surface tension of the fat, by action of the lipase, and by solvent action. Absorptive function by formation of micelles and Kollegov function, bile salts through the contraction of gallbladder. Laxative function, excretory function, excrete the heavy metal, copper, zinc and mercury. Certain drugs, bile pigments, bilirubin, etc., cholesterol, toxins and bacteria. Also helps in lubrication by secretion of the mucin, which acts as a buffer and lubricant. So see, these are the function of bile. This is the function of liver, which removes the potentially toxic byproducts of certain medication and produces the most protein needed by the body, helps your body fight against infection by removing the bacteria from the blood, produce most of the substance that regulate blood clotting, immunity against infection, because Kupffer cells present inside the liver, produces the bile. Hepatocyte in the liver produces the bile, which helps in digestion and absorption of the vitamin A, D, E, K, and fat. Metabolize nutrients and from food to produce energy when needed. Prevents shortage of nutrients by storing the vitamins, minerals, and sugar. So these are the function of the liver. Now coming to the regulation of the bile secretion. Bile secretion is primarily regulated by the feedback mechanism and secondary by the hormonal neuron. What is the meaning of this feedback mechanism? Feedback mechanism means, it is already discussed in previous slides, that when in fasting condition there is a no bile salt formation because it is not needed, but when when the acidic chyme enters into the duodenum, there is so after eating meals, bile salt formation for the occurs for the 3 hours. So this is the feedback mechanism. Major determinants of bile acid synthesis is concentration in the hepatic portal blood, that is called the feedback control. Means in fasting there is a no bile salt formation, but after eating the food, bile salt formation occurs for the 3 hours. Means when the acidic chyme enters into the intestine, there is a requirement of the bile acid, so there is a formation of the bile acid. And hormonal control, CCK, cholecystokinin secreting estrogen, or have a role in the bile secretion. Cholecystokinin by the gallbladder, contraction secreted by the liver to stimulate the secretion of the bile. And parasympathetic and sympathetic nerve supply the biliary nerve supply the biliary system. Parasympathetic by the vagus nerve result in contraction of the gallbladder, relaxation of the sphincter of Oddi, as well as increased bile formation. So if there is a bilateral vagotomy, results in reduced bile secretion after a meal. Okay, so if bilateral vagotomy done, there is a reduced bile secretion. So vagal stimulation leads to increase in bile secretion by stimulating the contraction of the gallbladder. Okay. So by contrast, stimulating the sympathetic nervous system results in reduced bile secretion, relaxation of the gallbladder. Here in this diagram you can appreciate how the bile secretion regulates. Okay. First, parasympathetic impulse along the vagus nerve, that is the cranial nerve 10, stimulate the bile production by liver. Okay. So when there is any kind of vagal stimulation, it releases the acetylcholine. This acetylcholine acts as a cholerectic because it is stimulate the liver for secretion. Second, when fatty acid and amino acid in chyme entering the duodenum, it is the feedback mechanism stimulate the secretion of the cholecystokinin. What is the role of cholecystokinin? This cholecystokinin contracts the gallbladder. Here in this diagram you can appreciate, here you can see when the fatty acid and amino acid in chyme entering the duodenum, this will release the cholecystokinin. This cholecystokinin contracts the gallbladder. So what is this cholecystokinin called? This cholecystokinin called the cholegog, because it stimulates the contraction of gallbladder. When there is a stimulation of contraction of gallbladder, here the sphincter of Oddi is relaxed and bile enters into the duodenum through the common bile duct. and when acidic chyme entering the duodenum stimulate the secretion of secretin. Okay, when fatty acid or amino acid entering the duodenum, there is secretion of cholecystokinin. When acidic chyme enters the duodenum, there is secretion of the secretin. These secretin stimulate the liver to secrete the bile. Okay, so what is this secretin called? This is called the cholerectic, and this CCK is a cholegog. Hope everything is clear. This secretin enhance the flow of bile rich in bicarbonate from liver. These secretin and cholecystokinin are released from the enteroendocrine cells in the mucosa of small intestine. So this is the regulation of the bile secretion. Why I entered the put this slide over here. Here this is the function of autonomic nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic. What is the role of sympathetic nervous system in GIT and what is the role of parasympathetic nervous system of GIT? You can summarize over here. Sympathetic nervous system GIT. What is the meaning of the sympathetic nervous system? It prepares your body for the fight and fear. Okay, so there is the decreased motility, in sphincter contraction and decreased secretion. But in parasympathetic, in GIT, there is increased motility, in sphincter relaxation and increased secretion. Okay. What is the chemical factors which affect the bile secretion? It is discussed in previous slide. Here, cholerectic, acetylcholine by the vagal stimulation, secretin when acetic chyme enters into the intestine, the secretin release by the enteroendocrine cells of the small intestine when acetic chyme enters into the intestine. So these three are the cholerectives. Okay, why this is cholerectic? Because it is stimulate the liver for secretion of the bile. Cholegog, what are the cholegog? Cholecystokinin, fatty acid and amino acid. When fatty acid and amino acid chyme enters into the duodenum, there is a release or secretion of the cholecystokinin. This cholecystokinin contracts the gallbladder, which is called the cholegog action. And also by the presence of calcium in anorganic salt, there is a contraction of gallbladder. So these are the cholerectic and cholegog. Hope everything is clear till now. How the bile salts form, how the bile regulates, how the bile pigments form, what is the bilirubin metabolism, what is the blood supply of heart, everything is clear. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Applied physiology. Jaundice is already discussed in previous classes. So jaundice is a yellowish discoloration of skin, sclera and mucous membrane due to hyperbilirubinemia and deposition of the bile pigments. Equilibrium between the bilirubin production and clearance is disturbed. Serum bilirubin level greater than 2 mg per deciliter. So when it is more than that, jaundice can happen. Jaundice is not a disease, it is rather a sign that can occur in many different diseases. I am not discussing the detail about jaundice over here because it is already discussed in previous classes. Now coming to the hepatitis. Hepatitis is defined as a widespread damage to liver hepatocyte with inflammatory changes. In acute hepatitis, liver damage is centrilobular or widespread and may either result in limited or massive necrosis of liver parenchymal, result in the liver failure. It may be due to infective or non-infective, direct toxicity, probably more important. Chronic hepatitis, long-standing inflammation, replacement of the liver parenchyma by fibrous tissue with loss of function, ultimately leading to cirrhosis. Okay, infective or non-infective. Immune response probably more important. So there are two types, acute and chronic. Hepatitis, the inflammation of liver caused by the immune response against the liver parenchyma. So what is that causes? First is the viral infection, which is the most important type of viral hepatitis, and some intracellular pathogen that survive in Kupffer cells. Okay, and these Kupffer cells are important for the because it helps in the phagocytosis. So with some intracellular pathogen that survive in Kupffer cell, causing the granulomatous disease like typhoid fever, brucellosis, Q fever, and TB. So these may be the cause of the hepatitis. Now coming to the viral hepatitis, is the most common type of the hepatitis. Is a systemic infection of the affecting the predominantly the liver and causing its inflammation. The most common clinical consequence of infection with hepatitis A and hepatitis E virus is the sudden onset of fever, systemic symptom which is followed by few days later by jaundice. Majority of people recover spontaneously within few weeks, but in some person it may cause the acute liver fever and chronic hepatitis. What may be the causes? First is the community acquired, means if intake of water or food which is infected with the hepatitis virus, and some because of the unprotected sex or the uh, intravenous transfusion of blood body fluid which is infected with the hepatitis virus, or the infect through the pricking of the infected needle. It may be or these are the causes for the viral hepatitis. What are the symptoms? Fatigue, nausea and vomiting, abdominal pain or discomfort, loss of appetite, low grade fever, dark urine, muscle pain, yellowing of the skin and eyes, that is called jaundice, or acute liver failure. Cirrhosis, it is a late stage of liver, scarring of liver caused by many forms of the liver disease and conditions such as hepatitis and chronic alcoholism causes infection, enlargement of liver due to intoxication, and retention of bile in the liver. Symptoms: fatigue, easily bleeding or bruising because cirrhosis, liver with vitamin K malformation, loss of appetite, nausea, swelling in your legs, feet or ankles, weight loss because most of the metabolism occurs in the liver, itchy skin, yellowish discoloration in the skin and eyes because of jaundice, and high bilirubin content, and fluid accumulation in your abdomen, that is called ascites, spider like blood vessels on your skin, and redness in the palm of hands, confusion, drowsiness, slurred speech. Hepatitis called hepatic encephalopathy. Now gallstones. Gallstones are the hardened deposit of the digestive fluid. It is already discussed how the gallstones form. Bile contains the cholesterol and lecithin. This cholesterol and lecithin, because of the bile salt, is present in solvent. But if the bile salt absent, cholesterol precipitate with the cholesterol and lecithin will precipitate and form the gallstone. This gallstone can vary in size and number and may or may not cause symptom. When it is asymptomatic, you generally don't need treatment, and who experience such symptom, it is removed by the surgery that is called cholecystectomy. This is the gallstone present inside the gallbladder. What are the causes of gallbladder? What is the causes of gallstones? Overweight. If there is a overweight, means there is a more amount of the cholesterol in the body. So when there is a more amount of the cholesterol, there may be precipitation of the cholesterol, which may lead to the gallstones. Birth control pills may be one of the cause. Excessive, because of the birth control pill where there is a hormonal imbalance, so it may cause the gallstone. Excessive dieting, as already we had discussed, if bile salt are not formed during fasting, it forms after eating. When there is excess dieting, there is a deficiency of the bile salt, and these biles are requirement for the cholesterol and lecithin to be in solvent form. So it may cause the gallstone formation, biliary infection, same bile salt deficiency, which may cause the cholesterol to precipitate and form the gallstone. Sickle cell anemia may be one of the cause for the gallstone formation. Symptoms of the gallstone: nausea, vomiting, heartburn, weakness, belching, jaundice, flatulence, increased body temperature, pain in the right hypochondrium. These may be the symptoms of the gallstone. So these I had completed the liver and gallbladder over here. So now it's time for the assessment. How much you had understand my lecture. I hope everyone is attentive. Nobody is sleeping over there. Who is sleeping? Now this is the question answer round. Should we ahead to the question answer round? Okay. Everyone is attentive. Rakesh Beldar is present. Rakesh is there. Rakesh, are you there? Okay. I want the some answer from you, Rakesh. Please answer the first question. Liver and gallbladder are connected by. I want answer from Rakesh only. Liver and gallbladder connected by. What is the answer of this question? Liver and gallbladder connected by. Rakesh, you don't know the answer? Please don't answer in the books and previous slides. Okay. Who is going to answer? Liver and gallbladder are connected by common bile duct. Okay, Prasun, very good. CBD, Nikita Divedi. CBD, for fast answering, everyone is typing in short form CBD. Okay, I am getting it. Common bile duct. Through the common bile duct, liver and gallbladder connected. Okay. Sakshi means is there. Sakshi means is there. Sakshi means is there. Okay, I want what this answer. What is cholerectic? Sakshi, you have to answer. What is cholerectic? Okay, who is going to answer what is cholerectic? Drug which help in bile production. Not very correct. Cholerectic is CCK is not cholerectic. CCK is cholegog. Stimulate secretion of liver. Very good. Saeed Zami Ali. Drug which stimulate bile production. Not very correct. Cholerectic, it is stimulate the secretion of bile, but by the liver. Then only it is called the cholerectic. Okay, very good. So many students are answering. Stimulate secretion of bile from the liver. Okay, that is called cholerectic. What is cholegog? Nikhil is there. Substance stimulate the secretion. Cholegog. Nikhil is there. Is Nikhil present? Bhumika Yadav, you are very correct. Which increases the release of bile into the intestine by contraction of the gallbladder. Function of bile. What is the function of bile? Emulsification, bile discharge, stimulate the secretion of bile in the duodenum. What? Emulsification of fat, digestion, absorption of fat. Okay, increase the secretion. Emulsification of the fat, emulsification of the fat. Everyone is answering other than emulsification. What are the role? Digestion and absorption of fat and lubrication, laxative, cholerectic, cholegog. Very good. Okay. Saket Mahavar. Saket Mahavar is there. Saket, Nikhil, Astik, Rakesh, I want answer from you. Okay. Isha, Varapatra, hepatic artery, what you want to ask? Okay, portal triad. What is portal triad contains? Hepatic artery, portal vein and biliary duct. Very good. Bile salts produced in, fill in the blank of liver. Okay, everyone understands. Portal triad contains, okay, I am getting answer of everyone. Portal triad contains the portal vein, hepatic artery and tributaries of bile, not bile duct, you can say branches of the bile duct. Okay. Biles are produced in cholesterol of liver, in hepatocyte of liver by cholesterol. Okay, it's correct. Hepatocytes, very good. So biles are produced in hepatocytes of liver. Now next, one more question I want to ask. What is the functional unit of liver? What is the functional unit of liver? Lobule. Very good. Lobule is the functional unit of liver. Lobule is the functional unit of liver. Gleason's capsule. What is Gleason's capsule? It is a delicate connective tissue capsule covering or is found in answer of 1, 2, 3 or 4. Its answer is 2. Who is saying 3? Its answer is liver. Okay, Gleason's capsule, delicate connective tissue inserting the hepatic artery, portal vein and biliary duct of the liver. Okay, its answer is liver. Rakesh, Sakshi Mensch, why you are not answering? You are not getting the slides. You are not getting my lecture. Now next answer of next question. I want answer on next question from Rakesh only. What is the role of bile? A, B, C, D or E? It breaks down. Which one is correct? 1, 2, 1, first one, second, third, fourth, fifth. Which one is correct? Its answer is break down large fat droplet into smaller droplets. Correct. But I want answer from Rakesh on next question. Rakesh, why you are not answering? Astik, Sakshi Mensch. No, it complete digestion of fat, it is not correct. It only break down the large fat droplet into a smaller droplet, but it does not complete the digestion of fat. Okay, answer is third one. Third one is correct. It break down large fat droplet into smaller droplet. Okay. Bilirubin is conjugated with which of the following and where? Who is going to answer? Rakesh, why are not answering a single question? Glucuronic acid. Okay. Where? Bilirubin conjugated with glucuronic acid. Where? Liver. Pallavi Mishra is saying liver. It is very correct. In liver only, not in intestine. Who is saying intestine is wrong? It is conjugated with the bilirubin is conjugated with the glucuronic acid in liver. Then after it will enter into the intestine and forms the urobilinogen, and these urobilinogen, some is secreted into the kidney and some is secreted into the through the fecus. Now next question. Which of the following body secretions is maximum? The question of previous class. Maybe gastric secretion is maximum. Very good. How much? Gastric secretion is maximum, but how much? 1.5, 1.5 to 2, but it may secrete till the 4 liter when it is required. Okay. Bile acids are derived from why all of you are saying A? Who is saying cholesterol? Who is saying Lakshmikant, Falguni, I think, Ayushi? Its answer is cholesterol. It's not A. Bile acids are derived from. It is derived from cholesterol in hepatocytes, and from the bile salts, bile salts are formed when it is combined with the glycine and taurine. Okay, so its answer is cholesterol. Bile acid are derived from cholesterol. Okay. Now next question. Digvijay, it's your turn. No one is answered of next question. It's Digvijay will answer of next question. Digvijay, you have to answer the next question. Okay. Nutrients are mainly absorbed in. Very easy question. Digvijay, only you have to answer. Nutrients are mainly absorbed in. Rusali, why you are answering? This is question only for Digvijay. Okay, let's leave. Its answer is small intestine. Nutrients are mainly absorbed in the small intestine. Okay, now coming to the next question. Maximum secretory glands in stomach are? Maximum secretory gland in stomach are? Fundic gland. Who is saying gastric gland? Is gastric gland present in the? Answer is the fundic only. What are the three types of gland in the stomach? What are the three types of gland in the stomach? Fundic, pyloric, and what is the third one? Cardiac. And fundic, pyloric, cardiac are types of gastric glands. So maximum secretory gland in stomach are fundic gland. It is not gastric. Okay. Answer will be fundic only. You have to answer which is most correct. All are the action of the CCK, cholecystokinin, except. You have to answer except. All are the action of CCK except. C. Very good. Its answer is third one. Increase gastric secretion. Because it does not increase the gastric secretion, it decreases the gastric secretion. So this role of in the intestinal phase, role of secretin and cholecystokinin is to decrease the gastric secretion. Okay, very good. The next question. Vagal stimulation following intake of food does not affect the secretion of. Does it affect the stomach? Does it affect the pancreas? Does it affect the gallbladder? Yes, but it does not affect the secretion of the parotid. Now next question. Cholegog are the substance which causes. Very good. Contraction of the gallbladder. Now next question. Most potent stimulus for secretin. What is the most potent stimulus for secretin? Most potent stimulus for secretin. It is acetic chyme. Acidic chyme is the most potent stimulus of secretin. Not dilation of intestine, not protein, not fat. When the acidic chyme enters the duodenum, the enteroendocrine cells present in the small intestine secrete the secretin. What is the role of secretin? Secretin is stimulate the liver for secretion of bile. Secretin does not cause. Secretin does not cause. Bhavik Gautam D. Yes, its answer. This answer of this question is D. Gastric secretion. Secretin and cholecystokinin decreases the gastric secretion. Now next question. Maximum absorption of bile occurs at. Maximum absorption of bile occurs at duodenum, jejunum, ileum or colon. What is the answer of this question? Who is saying duodenum? Someone is saying jejunum. Not A, not B. Its answer is C. Maximum absorption occurs in ileum only. Okay. Ileum, only ileum. Who were attending during my enterohepatic circulation of slides of bile salts? They can answer. It is ileum. Maximum absorption of bile occurs at ileum. Next question. What is the answer of this question? Gallbladder contraction is controlled primarily by the following hormone. C. Gallbladder contraction. B. Cholecystokinin, pancreozymin. Okay. This answer of this question is B. Cholecystokinin, pancreozymin. Now next question. Fat absorbed with the help of bile salts or. I think this is the last question. Why D? Why many of the students answering D? Read all the options carefully. Its answer is C. Higher fatty acid, diglycerol and monoglycerides. Free fatty acid and glycerols are the byproduct of fat digestion. So fat absorbed in the with the help of bile salts are higher fatty acid, diglyceride and monoglyceride. Not all of the above. Okay. Which is not produced enteroendocrinally. Enteroendocrinally means C. Very good, because intrinsic factor is produced, secretin and GIP is produced enteroendocrinally, but not motilin is not produced enteroendocrinally. Okay. Motilin, very good. So this is the end of my lecture. So the time is always right to do what is right. Okay. My next lecture will be on GIT hormone. On the completion of the GIT, there will be one exam on GIT only. Hope all of you are preparing and studying at your home. This time I want answer from everyone, not only by the few students. Rakesh, Astik, Sakshi, Digvijay, Saket, all of you have to answer. Okay. Paridhi, all of you have to answer in the next lecture. Okay. So this is the time to finish the lecture. Okay. Good day, everyone.